So before I get into everything, I just wanted to disclose that my main focus for this video is going to be YouTube. That will be my main example. That is what I know the most about and have the most gripes about. But a lot of these not only YouTube specific arguments about secrecy, monetization, all that stuff can also be used against many other social media, just about every social media, social media platform. So just take everything I say and see if it can be applied to other things you're familiar with, because I know I can. Gotta get into my computer so I can read the script, because I don't rehearse my videos. Social media. Most of us know it. Most of us use it. It's pretty great, you know? You can connect with other people, talk to them. You can share your creations, photos of your family, keep in touch with family, keep people updated. It has a lot of uses and it's pretty great, and it's even enabled some people to make a career out of it, which is amazing, honestly. A couple years ago, not even a couple, probably a decade ago, nobody would have thought you could be making a job out of something like Instagram or YouTube. Despite all of us getting benefits from using social media, arguably the ones who benefit most are the people and companies that own these social media sites and the advertiser who advertise on them. It's a good relationship they have. Advertisers pay the site to advertise, they make money, and in turn people know about their product and go give them money. That is how mostly social media get monetization from their users. Of course, there's partner programs with creators on YouTube, which ads play on their videos and thus makes them money, but also it makes YouTube a large amount of money too, because these are still the advertisements. And how people get these ads is through targeted marketing. These sites have your information, so looking at that information, the algorithm thinks, this person would like this, and thus it advertises that to you. So you're watching a YouTube video, the advertisement you get has nothing to do with that video or the creator of it, right? So it would be silly to equate them together, right? With this in mind, that'd be ridiculous, right? Well, somehow twice on a large scale, YouTube has gone through the adpocalypse, which is whenever there's a video describing it in my sources by Hank Green, big YouTube legend, that a mass amount of advertisers who advertise on YouTube pulled out of their advertising because they were worried that the videos their ads were being played on would reflect badly on their company. But that does not make sense, because that was never a concern with TV, but this is somehow even more disconnected than the ads that play on TV to their programs. So it wouldn't make sense, but it's happened twice. The first adpocalypse is what set off the YouTube that we now know today. They pretty much wiped out less advertiser-friendly and marketable mainstream content off the site from being monetized and from being promoted. The event was one of the big things in the start of the decay of YouTube. The biggest problem with this, though, was that nobody knew how they should be changing their content to fit in with what YouTube wanted. There were no guidelines, no warnings. Nobody was even told that this was going to start happening. It was like a knee-jerk reaction from YouTube. The only way anyone found something out was by YouTubers themselves going through trial and error to figure out how they should be structuring their content and what guidelines to abide by. What the community has discovered are keywords for demonetization, hidden rating systems, and just overall YouTube's mindset. These accounts being demonetized, being rated as like mature content that isn't like worthy to be on this site is what gets accounts shadow banned. If they deem your content not to be marketable, not to be appropriate, it gets shadow banned and it gets pushed beneath everything in the algorithm. Andrew Platt and CeeLo, if you watch Nerd City, you already know of them, created a system for testing videos to see what words would be green and yellow. Good to go, getting money, and demonetized. Andrew Platt has a free public list, which is also in my sources, which I'll be putting in the description below the video, of these words and what they are classified as, and the severity of those words, because it's a steady line going from green to yellow, as they state themselves. So there's that free resource. I use it. Most YouTubers I know of use it. Nerd City uses it. I do recommend you use it. And he has a Patreon, so you can suggest words and he can put more time into it the more money he gets. Despite the gradation of the line, it's normally somewhere towards the middle where it turns from green to yellow. And no matter how kind of yellow it is, it's demonetized. This was the only way to look into the YouTube algorithm, through this manual, like, scientific testing, because there was no statements from YouTube, no guidelines, no list of words that they would for sure know, nothing. YouTubers have had to rough it out for years with no information under our wonderful CEO, Susan Wojcicki. I love you, Susan. In Nerd City's video, which most YouTubeites like myself would be familiar with, YouTube's Biggest Lie, they highlight this research and how prominently the word gay and words associated with the LGBTQ, I don't like the Q very much because it's actually a slur, but plus, are yellow words, while words like straight, marriage, are green words. They also point out that the workforce who train the bots in whether, because whenever you make an appeal on a demonetization, a manual reviewer goes in and either deems whether the algorithm's choice to demonetize was wrong or correct. And many of this workforce have said that the training is vague and they don't give you very many guidelines on how you should be doing things, on what kind of things are okay and what kind of things are not. That sounds a lot like YouTube up to this point from how we've characterized them. But also a lot of these companies that they use for hire for these people who train the bots are in countries like America is one of the countries, but there's also many more countries that are even stricter and not as accepting on many things. Wink wonk. If YouTube's case is because they are in all these countries, so many variable countries with different ideas, different views, that they can't afford to have content like this, why aren't they upfront with viewers? I'm not the first YouTuber to say this, and I won't be the last. Why are they not upfront about what kind of things they do and don't allow? Why with all the secrets, YouTube? Why won't you tell us what we should and shouldn't avoid? Many things have been said by Susan to not have protocols. Yeah, they might not be protocols legally, but your system is running in a way that affirms these things should happen, and it is the status quo for YouTube's algorithms that these are good and these are bad. So it is, in a way, just not a YouTube official way. In an attempt to keep out bad actors or more likely criticism, many sites keep things like this secret. Keep their algorithm secret, keep their work processes secret, vague, so they can't get into legal trouble, and they can't get into too much trouble in the public eye. Notable example is how Facebook, every year, the interaction got lower and lower and lower on posts. And then all of a sudden they introduced this new groups thing that you've been seeing all the ads for. And just anytime you enter a group, it's crazy. You see everything. Everybody's posts are getting boosted. But anywhere outside of Facebook groups, on Facebook, it's just like a wasteland. Apple juice break! Due to these issues, many people reach out to YouTube in desperation for fixes for these issues, or for any kind of guidance. And I actually just contacted YouTube the other day, yesterday, as I'm filming this. Barely anyone gets a response, and anyone who's like smaller on the platform or not like even PewDiePie barely gets a response from YouTube, and often those who do luckily get a response from YouTube are met with dismissal and we're doing everything fine over here, that's not true, similar phrases. It's a little bit concerning that YouTube won't give satisfying answers or anything to the creators and users who make their website thrive. Smaller creators hold up the community, and that's why it's important to listen to them. This obviously puts a huge barrier between the site and the creators itself. Blatant corporate desire for YouTube to be something more akin to TV, where you have all these huge celebrities and huge advertisers and you're raking in all this money, it just goes against everything YouTube is and was, and it hurts all the creators on there. It's dissatisfying to many of us, and it feels like a betrayal. It feels like YouTube doesn't care about the users. It only cares about its money. YouTube recently got into trouble with COPPA, which, for those who know, Child Online Protection and Privacy Act, I believe it stands for, because it was collecting data from users under 13 despite being a 13+ site. This is not a surprise, knowing everything that we do about the algorithm and targeted advertising. But in response to this, the changes YouTube made were less than satisfactory and caused, surprise, yet again, another humongous community outcry for YouTube not to do it this way. Now, on all videos, that message I showed you earlier, one of my videos was subject to this. You have to self-report whether your videos are made for kids or not made for kids. But if YouTube sees that you are wrong, they will correct it. And on videos made for kids, there is limited reach, limited pretty much everything. They disable comments. I don't believe that it can be monetized. Maybe it can, but maybe they just won't allow you to play as many ads, or will lower the ad runtime, thereby lowering the amount of money you get, and it just kills the channel. My recent video where I do journaling, and my first part got this problem, so in the second part I tried to overcompensate by drawing a crude image, as I described in the earlier shown message, and saying crude language within the first 10 seconds so that YouTube would agree with me and that this is not content made for kids. But because I was showing off a colorful piece of artwork within the video, it still decided to edit my choice and deem it for kids, disabling my comments and only getting 6 views, which I guess is normal for me. If YouTube algorithm does recognize which users are under 13, why couldn't they program a flag that once the algorithm has decided on the user profile that even if they say otherwise, they are 13 based on their interests and their search history, why do they not just cease all activity on monitoring that account? The reason they wouldn't simply stop collecting information on these accounts they flag as under 13 years old, children, younger children, is that they can still make money off of them if they watch videos that are not made for kids or do anything on the site. It's just within the legal limitations. Because many YouTubers, bigger YouTubers like the Paul brothers, other vloggers, Vlog Squad, make content subtly aimed towards children because children make a lot of money for channels and for other products because they control a lot of their parents' spending. So they decided if they went and edited the videos to be for kids, YouTube would not be effective and only the creators would be. And so they could carry on as if nothing happened, and the creators are left to suffer yet again. I just spit on my carpet. FairTube has made a series of demands. FairTube is a European collective of people demanding YouTube to change its policies and stop with all the secrecy and lies, pretty much. They've made a series of demands to YouTube to reveal all their algorithms, all their rating systems, and any other series of secrets or secret protocols, because under, I believe it is UN law, that these kinds of secrets on user data are illegal to be not disclosed by the site. I agree that if they revealed this info, it would largely improve the entire site, and if they started listening to creators, revealing this information, working with creators, making decisions and changes in the site that benefit the creators and user experience, that most of these problems would be pretty quickly solved. Because there's a lot of smart people on this platform that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. Educators' content being demonetized because they're talking about wars. My content being marked as for kids because I used to make videos when I was a kid. I also think that by my previous suggested method on the whole COPPA situation, that would really improve the site if they just started. There's plenty of the rest of us to make money off of. You don't need the kids. Just suggest to parents that they use YouTube Kids, which sometimes you do on videos marked for kids. I guess I appreciate that. But just start advocating for your creators, please, YouTube, instead of throwing them to the dirt because you want to be some big yeah, you know what I mean. It would stop the separation. It would make us feel a lot more connected to you as a community, and it would stop this whole enemies thing that you got going on, and it would really boost morale, which means more creators, more big creators, more videos, more money for you, because clearly that's your goal. It'll really elevate the site. It's really important because there's no other video sharing based website that has stood up to YouTube in the test of time, and that's clear, and everybody knows that. Stop trying to be something else, YouTube. Just be YouTube, and be the best YouTube that takes care of its creators, that loves feedback, that doesn't shorten the reading of numbers, unlikes, and comments, and lowers engagement. Show us the full numbers. Let us make video responses to videos where the creators can actually see them and they're attached beneath the video. Give us back 5-star ratings. Stop trying to make the numbers smaller and smaller. Let us have our critiques. Let us have our freedom of speech. It's ridiculous. You take away all the engagement options and expect us to just still be here. Like, we can even still interact. Let the community have a voice, YouTube. Please. Alright, that's all I have to say.
Now, can you tell me what it means?
just wanted to show off some things at the end of the video because this is for class. And I wanted to get some extra I'm cool points with my teacher. So here I have little figures of the zombified candy people from the first episode. I lost this one's base. I lost this one's stick and base, but here's the little sweetheart, the little hug me sweetheart. From the same line of figures, I have this Marceline, and I have this Finn. They're pretty cool. But I also have this beautiful Ice King figure that I got in a loot crate in 2016. This might get my video flagged as for kids again, but that's okay, because this is for children, because this is a school family friendly video. And I like making money. But oh wait, I can't make money on children's content anymore. Because COPPA. And also here's my little Jake McDonald's toy. I had a Finn one with the noodly arms, but I lost it in the McDonald's playground because like the net. And I stuck my hand through there with it and I was playing around and then I dropped it. But they wouldn't open the gate for me to get it. So I like cried my eyes out, and then I was at Retro Plaza and I saw it and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't know if it was for sale and I didn't have any money. Next time I went back, it was gone! So that was my video. Gonna start trying to keep up with gonna start trying to keep back up with videos every weekend. I made like, whenever I first started the Night in the Fort series, I'm running out. I think I have about 5 of those left because I like made a whole bunch at the same time and just started uploading them at different times. I'm running out, so I'm gonna have to make some more of those or something else. Working on some projects, doing some good stuff. So as usual, all my sources will be in the description down below. My card is in there, my new and updated card. My friend, he's making a YouTube channel that I'm helping him with called Hairbear Speaks, where he's going to mostly talk about Fate. You know, if you're familiar with the Fate series. Here's my Nido Chris. Her spear just fell out of her hand while I was getting her. But if you're familiar with the Fate series, he talks about a lot of that. But he's also going to do collection videos, reviewing videos. I'm going to make some videos. It'll be nice and fun. And check out Taintarian. You guys remember what Taintarian is, so please subscribe. We made it to 100 on there, but we didn't do a 100 subscriber special yet because it'd be embarrassing if we made one, and then we lost like 1 subscriber and we're back at 99. So thank you for watching. See you guys next time.